Hey, good evening, folks. And I was trying to figure out, I know the market's positive from where we closed. I was trying to figure out what the next big resistance area would be. And, we got a market that's sort of breaking away, breaking out, breaking up. And we closed at a record high today. So we saw that coming. One thing that is sort of interesting is that, and you got to think about this, is that where do we go from here and how high is high, right? We've come, since the blockade over the weekend, since that blockade over the weekend is sort of amazing. Scott says he's up 130% on a QQQ trade that he made off the 10 ticker Sunday night. Anybody else take that trade on QQQ where we said get long at 515.55? I know I did. Did anybody else take that trade? We got some happy people. Frank did. Bill did. SP said they tripled it. They used the TQQ. Way to go. Good thinking. Kevin's up 100% on his trade. Let's go back to Sunday night. Let me ask a couple questions here. How many people attend my Sunday night plan for the week? Give me a yes if you attend my Sunday night plan. What do you think separates what we do from everybody else on Sunday night? When you stand back and look at it, what do you think is the big separation factor for Sunday night? Peg says the precision numbers, right? Yeah. And the tickers, right? The planning. Do y'all remember Sunday night when I told you we were down hard and I said, I think this blockade, and John was here, he agreed with me. I said, I think we're going to see new highs in our target 70.45. Y'all remember me saying that on Sunday night? How many of you would like to have that kind of forecast capability on a Sunday night before the week ever unfolds? Anybody here would like to have that? That's pretty awesome, isn't it? And that's what is a separator for what we do here at DTI. And I know that when you think about things, you really, really sit here and you start putting things in perspective. Let me ask another question. Y'all remember when it was terrible days trading and I kept my hand off the mouse? Remember I said, I'm keeping my hand off the mouse. I'm keeping my hand off the mouse. And I said, remember, by the end of the year, I think we'll be a lot higher in here. Y'all remember me telling you about that at the end of the year, even though it looked terrible and I was saying, avoid things and everything, okay? I think that having the ability and the tools, you got to have tools. Technology is the tools. And when you trade and you invest, if you have the right tools, it sort of comes right to you, doesn't it? Wendy's got it. The roadmap. Wendy's got it. I can't do this without my roadmap software. And I've told people that for years. They go, oh, yeah, Tom, sure. No, seriously. It's an incredible stickiness to you, to me, and everybody that learns the DTI Pro. I want all of you to succeed. And to succeed, you got to have the right tools. You don't have to have the biggest account. You don't have to have the biggest account. You just got to do the right things to grow those accounts. And I think that we're able to do that. Well, we're here tonight, and I want y'all to hang with me because we've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to give you some numbers for tomorrow. How many people would like to have the numbers for tomorrow to trade their favorite ticker? Would y'all like to have that? Well, at the very end, I'll give you the number. Okay? Not going to give it to you up front. I'm going to give it to you at the very end because I want to write it down myself, and I want to do that. We're going to have an incredible day tomorrow, and Friday's even going to be better. And that's not a prediction. That is a matter of process, what we do. A matter of process of what we do. So join our Telegram channel. And do we have YouTube on here tonight?
It's here.
And I think thanks to Wendy, she gave us a heads up about YouTube. Our readership is growing. Thank you, Wendy. We take any help anywhere we can get it. People a lot more knowledgeable than what we do, right? That's what we do. Risk involved in trading. I don't sugarcoat it. We're going to have some losses, but the key to losing is recognizing it early. Would you say? Would you rather recognize that you're going to have a loss early? That's where I came up with my 72-hour rule with options. People love it, the 72-hour rule, because it makes them, it forces them with that one little rule, go from an option loser to an option winner. You're not sitting there taking these things to the cemetery of dead options. That's the beautiful thing to know. For folks that don't know me, I'm a former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Proud of that. Author of 3 books. Who's read my books? Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep and Trade to Win. I would tell you, we've got a big event coming up the 1st of June called Sawgrass. A lot of people will get those books and bring them at Sawgrass. And I would tell you, don't only you bring it, I sign it, but read it, understand it. It will help you. My favorite part of what I do is working with you and getting to know you. I had a lot of love letters today. Thank you for taking time and dropping me a line of how I'm helping you do a very difficult thing, make money in the market. This week in our train and trade, we had 3 days of how to make money on different time frames in that series. Pretty cool way to learn. In my opinion, I tell people this, I say, listen, if you listen to what I tell you, I will save you a fortune because I lost a fortune learning this stuff. And I got a good memory of what not to do. That's the secret. That's the secret. That's the plan. How many of you here tonight would like to have, this is your goal, right? Biggest problem people have, they have wins, they have losses. But how many of you would like to be consistent when you win and have small losses? Isn't that the goal? Donald says, I've saved him thousands. Thank you, Donald. Give me a yes. Everybody here that really is striving for that goal, put a yes in that chat room. Consistency is the key. And keeping those losses small. You're going to have losses, but keep them small. Now, that's where the Seven Sisters looks a lot better today than it did before, doesn't it? Look at that thing go. Crude's getting less and less up. Wait till bonds take off. Bonds are going to take off too. I heard a couple things today I was encouraged by, talking about the Federal Reserve. I think it's good. You got E-mini, NASDAQ, and Dow now positive. What does that mean? That means that the greater part of all stocks are moving higher. That's what's happening. Now, this is my famous, now I'm going to say it's famous. After all these weeks and years of giving these numbers, I think you're finally getting it. Y'all see my top market up there? It says 615.55. That one trade, 615.55. You know where it is tonight? Everybody go look and see and tell me if you know where the QQQ is tonight. Where's the QQQ tonight? I want you to know it. I want it to sink in. Type it in the chat room where I know everybody's got it. 638. I'm seeing it typed into the chat room. If you subtract 615 from 638, you see why people are saying, Tom, boy, this 10 ticker thing works from Sunday night. That's pretty wild. AMD's no slouch. It's up 8 points. SLV is up. TQQ, look at TQQ. It's at 56, 52.55. Wow. How about the SPY? Look at the SPY. 683. Type in there where the SPY is tonight. Hey, look what somebody copy that. You need to copy what I did there. See what I did? Who is that iPhone there? It doesn't have your name. Who's your iPhone? You need recognition. That is what I try to do and why I'm here. Type that in there. I mean, copy and paste that. Will you, Adam? Look at that. Or Jonathan, somebody type that. That's great. That's pretty cool. He gets it. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Five's at 701. Now, if you had bought the QQQ on Monday above 615.55, it's now at 637. Correction, now 638. That's big money, folks. That's direction and that's big money. How can you take advantage of that using options? Using my Delta series, either Delta 10 up to Delta 50. That's how you take advantage of it. How do you know it's happening? You set an alert on your platform. We taught that. We did everything but grab your mouse and say, get long. Did that too, but that was just a heck of a week. Look at that. Today's only Wednesday. Pretty good stuff. I started this company years ago in a little place called Mobile, Alabama. Who's ever been to Mobile, Alabama? Tell me if you've been to Mobile, Alabama, where that building's located. Hey, Harold, I want to talk to you, Harold. I hope I got your right number. I sent you a text. Harold, while you're in here, do me a favor. Put your number there. Nobody else said, I want to call and talk to you. Harold, I'll tell you a story of Harold. I met Harold at Orlando, Florida years ago. I was trading the Dow live at the time. Harold joined my biggest program at the time, 10 grand, and everybody was all excited when I showed him how to do this with the the Dow. I'll never forget it. I do have the right number? Okay. You see my text? I wanted to talk to you. Let's talk. I'll send you a text. We'll set up time tomorrow. You free tomorrow? Perfect. I'll never forget it, Harold. All of a sudden, I'm in this crowd. People surround me. I can't even talk. Over the top, about 4 layers of people. True story, right, Harold? He threw his American Express Platinum card. I was like catching a pass as it came over the top. I'll never forget that. Many years ago. No brainer when I was trading live. He said, there's about 14,000 people down at Orlando when I met Harold. And he chose us a lot of years ago. I think that was the first time that I'd ever traded live in front of people. We built that building in Mobile, Alabama. The classroom was a textbook theater style seating. It's pretty exciting. Now, almost everything we do here at DTI revolves around one question. I posed this question many years ago. I said, if you can figure out whether to be long, whether to be short, or whether to stay out of the market, keep that question front and center in everything you do, you can make money in the market. The reason I focus on the S&P for guidance on that direction is because 75% of all stocks approximately follow the S&P. So if I got the S&P going up, what's going to happen? 75% of those stocks are going to go up. You see where I connected the dots between those two? And that's why Sunday night, I said our target this week would be 70-45. That would be our first big target. And tonight, I'll give you other new targets from Wednesday night. Been doing it this way for years. Don't miss a Sunday or Wednesday night. Adam, we don't charge for this anymore. Don't we let people come for free now? We used to charge for this. We let people come for free. What a value. Building, classroom, a lot of good time. Knowing how to frame the market, long, short, or out. It gives you an action plan every day, framing things. It takes fear out of it. It creates optimism because you know if you follow what we teach, the odds are going to favor you at the end of the day. And it allows you, most importantly, to decide how much money you're worth by the amount of money that you risk and how you play the game. That's writing your own ticket. Now, if we could stop right now and I could sit down with you face to face and be able to show you how to write your own ticket, how much money would that be worth? Type in here, if I could teach you how to write your own ticket on the money you want to make in the market, how much would that be worth to you? Think big, folks. Having the right foundation, fish for life. You heard that say. Long, short, out. Roadmap software makes it simple. Now, if you go back and look at a rough 3 months, January through April, actually 4 months, I made over 114 public trades. 89 were winners, 24 were losers, and broke even on one for a 78% action. Putting up $1,000 on each option trade that I did you would be sitting here tonight smiling like most of the people that did that. A lot of money. But how do I do it? I do it because what the roadmap does for me, it keeps me disciplined and following a process. It starts tonight, it goes through tonight, into tomorrow, and I do it through a process we call reference bar trading. Now, what do people think? When they see it work live, they see it work in any day, any week, any month. What do people think when they see success like that? Tell me what you think when you see it being demonstrated, not out of the history books, not what we did this week. Now, that's all great, but what we're going to do tomorrow and the next day. People think I've got to learn how to do that. And the way you learn how is have this tool called the roadmap software. It's the reason Joe here paid me $10,000 to come sit with me for 2 days. He saw the ability to lower his losses, make consistent wins, and it organizes all the data. He's a smart guy, but it organized the data for him to be able to make good decisions. That's why people like the face-to-face. They get to see it in reality. Now, Roger's a doctor out in Texas. I talked to Roger this morning before he went to cut on people, I say. Okay? And I told Roger this morning about 7 o'clock, I said, Roger, you can make a lot of money with NVIDIA today by looking at the roadmap when you get a break. I hope he's here tonight to share his story. I know he did. And he gets his game plan, keeps on the right side of the market, even though he's distracted throughout the day doing what he does all day long. How many people's met Roger? He came on board about 3 years ago. He's been to Sawgrass, he's been one-on-ones, he's been to classes. He's got an open ticket to come to Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. How about old Bill? Bill's famous for the DTI salute. As long as a roadmap subscriber like Bill. I remember when on Bill's face when I first met him, he said, how much is that roadmap? I said, 3,000, Bill. Didn't hesitate. Back then it was more than that because he had to buy his own data feed to make it work. He bought it. He took a chance. He was skeptical, but guess what? It shaped his trading for the last 10 years. He runs it through the roadmap on anything he wants to buy or sell because the roadmap's that important. Bill doesn't trade a lot of short term anymore, but swing trading and long term he uses. Pretty good stuff. Roadmap simplifies the DTI method that I put together all these years. It's been a life's journey doing it. The simple long, short, or out parameter. That is where the tools in the roadmap come into play. ETR page, this is one of our first features on the roadmap. Notice there at 1:30, we were at 70.47. That was my target for the week. But then I upped my target after 1:30. I said, hey, the next target from 45 would be 62. Well, we hit 62. My next target after 62 will be 70.85. You ought to write that number down. I just gave it to you. But having the ETR page is called the tape. I'm a tape reader from the word go, and that's how I do it, using this to keep up with what's happening. People used to say, Tom, how can you be so successful with your back to the market when you're talking to us? ETR page. I'll glance up there and see it when I'm talking. You'll see me do this during Sawgrass. You'll see me do it in classes. It keeps me informed what's moving and how it's moving. ETR page, one of the very first features of the roadmap. I still got a page of it over here on my real estate. The trade tracker. How many people like the 3-day algo that we do every day in train and trade? Give me a yes if you like the 3-day algo. The origin of the 3-day algo came from my work on finding patterns at work. I had our programmer build it into the roadmap where I could have it anytime, day or night, to check out whether I ought to be long, short, okay? And there it is. NVIDIA was one of my picks. Google was one of my picks. Intel was one of my picks. AMD was one of my picks. The QQQ was one of my picks, all from the trade tracker. That's the verification mode of what I'm going to do after I follow any certain ticker. The compass, nothing like it. Who likes charts? You haven't had a chart until you have the compass staring you in the face, showing you the time. Not just a line on a chart, but the time of entry, adjusted for the reference bars, by colors, and then showing you where to enter and where to exit in a picture form. That's the compass chart. It was named by Celeste Lindman years ago. And I love the name. You got to have a compass. Now, I wouldn't trade without a roadmap, and you shouldn't either. This is the secret of what we do. Now, I decided tonight to make a major decision when it comes to the roadmap. I'm doing it on a trial-only basis, meaning I don't know if this is going to be the permanent way I do it, but I'm going to see, because I want to make your job easier. Not going to charge you the $3,000 I charged Bill many years ago, but you're going to have an opportunity. When you understand how to use it, you can find virtually every opportunity that I find using the roadmap software. We do training on it. We teach you how to do it. We just don't throw you out there. A lot of people tell me, I wish I could see the market the way you can. You can see the market the way I see it when you have the roadmap software. I bring up the word market timing. They tell you can't do it. How many people believe you can time the market after watching me do it for all these years? Give me a yes if you think you can market time. Sure did time. If you just been with me last 30 or 40 days, staying out of trouble and getting in when it was hot. Pretty good stuff, huh? Got a great team around it. The roadmap software is how we see it. The first thing you'll learn with the roadmap is 4 simple patterns. 4. Now, I know you can count to 7 if you can remember somebody's phone number. There's 7 digits in that. So I only ask you, how many people, if I could teach you 4 simple patterns, not 100 different patterns, but 4 patterns putting you on the right side of the profit wheel? Well, stay with me, because this Friday, I'm going to go through it and give you the insights of those 4 patterns this Friday. That's happening. The buy signal. That's what I'm looking for at key times during the night, during the morning, during the day, during the week, and during the month. You see how that bar went into that yellow zone at the top, then confirmed by the bar after that? It can do any time frame, but y'all see that? Pretty simple, isn't it? You got your reference bar and you got your breakup bar. Very simple, what you look for at the right distance away from where you started, which is the opening price. A little different than everybody else. Now, when it goes in there and fails, it also tells me a lot about the market. That's when it goes to the opposite side. We had a lot of that the last 30 days, but look at it. you make money. You make actually more money on a buy failure because it's a longer run to the downside. That's two patterns. The third pattern is the sell signal. Sell signal is opposite of the buy signal. Right down to the target. Now this is works in a bull market. You'll see this one a lot. Sell failure, where it tries to go lower. You'll see a lot of this in an up bull market. You see this a lot. You got to learn this pattern in a bull market. When it fails, it's time to jump on. And it's easy to see once you know the parameters. And the parameters tell you where to get in and where you're wrong. The complete program is built around the roadmap so we can hold your hand throughout the day, throughout the week, and throughout the month. Called the Roadmap Trader Package. We put this together and it gives you a step-by-step guide on features you care about, where you want to trade. Dividends, all that stuff is included. We have a prediction model in here. We got everything inside the roadmap. Folks, been developing this thing for the greater part of 25 years. But I'm giving you some simple reasons to take the time to learn what I showed you tonight with those features. The complete software, you get the whole package. We just don't limit it and charge you by module and all that. That would suggest us to know it's given the whole thing. I want you to have it all. Every kind of market, up, down, or out, you're ready to take advantage of. Don't trade without it. The Roadmap Trader course gives you a money management course we came up with and ways to do it. The first module I love the most is the 67% module, because if you can eliminate what not to do, that increases your odds of making money. For example, if the market's going up and you eliminate being short, maybe you stay out, maybe you get long, you eliminate how you lose money. I teach you that. That's the first thing I teach you. Make a career doing that. How to manage that trade. Different time, different week. You know, stop management has always been a problem for traders. The roadmap does it for you. And that's the beautiful thing about managing a trade, managing your account, and doing everything. How to get started quickly. We got that put together. Some guy asked us years ago, said, can you do it? Yep, do it. Now, the complete set of this is worth more than $3,000. If you want to become a profitable, who wants to become a profitable trader? Here's the test tonight. That's why I say this should be the most expensive product I have, but I don't do it that way. I do it differently. I want you to have it. Now, let's get involved. Time to take action. Our roadmap support team encompasses me and several other people to make it all work. That's my old office, my old trade room in Mobile, Alabama, sitting right there with John. I was teaching him how to use the roadmap. That's what you get: the software, the trader course, the pattern module, the management course, rapid results, all access, and our no-nonsense guarantee. Love it. We're not going to do that anymore, are we, Wendy? When I found Wendy, she was broken. Now she's happy and got something to smile about every day, even when she's got the flu. I think it's worth 7 figures to me. I can't trade without it. I don't know how you can. How we make our living. Now, here's what we're going to do. This is going to make a little history at the roadmap. I want Harold, I want Bill, I want Morris, I want everybody to think years ago where we started and what I'm going to make history tonight with. If you subscribe to the roadmap tonight during this trial process, I'm calling it a trial because I've got to have more people take the roadmap on a monthly basis from now on at $99 a month. You don't have to put up the 3,000. You don't have to put up the 1,500. You don't have to put up the 1,000. You can have the roadmap tonight with all that for 99 bucks. And I've included a scholarship plan in there with you. Scholarship means I'm going to show you how to get it. 1 month access every month, as long as you want to stay on it and quit anytime. Think about how much better you're going to be. You won't quit. My commitment to you, I've been in this game a long time. You know, I made, lost, and made fortunes again. We're in this together, and I want you to have the roadmap. This is your chance. I'm limited only to 30 people, though. 30 people, because I'm really not sure I'm going to stay with this plan. I will honor it, those that join tonight. So don't procrastinate. Everyone here will be onboarded, and I'll go through this through the next month, and then I'll make a decision. Now, $100 will get you started. Here's the best part. It's April 15th. I'm going to give you the 15 days bonus here to be one of those 30 and to have it for a full month where you really get to learn it and use it and tell me how great it was. And I'll ask the question at the end of the journey. Are you glad I did it? And when I ask that question, I'll make a decision whether to do that price anymore. So this Friday, we'll have a bonus session. If I get everything accomplished, that's all I'll do. If I don't, I'll do one the following Friday. My goal is you don't have to pay for it if you stay with me and take me up on this offer. I want it to be so good that you're telling your friends, because they won't be able to get in like you did if I don't do it. We'll go back to our regular price. Your subscription will not start counting down until we get to May 1st. This is your chance. 1 month access starts May 1st, but you start, download it tonight, you start going through this stuff. Friday, we'll go through the accuracy module together to make sure you get real benefit right out of the chute. Answer questions. That's at 10:30 this Friday. Folks, I told you we'd make history tonight. This is history. For years, people said, you ought to do it this way. I said, I'm not going to do that. It's too valuable. You know the cost of running this thing? Well, the bottom line is tonight, we're going to try it. It's a trial, meaning if you take it tonight, I'll honor it as long as you want to keep it. But you'll know at the end of May if it's beyond that. So show me I was open-minded and join tonight. Now, who's going to join and get the roadmap? I want to count it down. I want this to be gone where you got 30 and we're ready to start Friday. JP says, I'm in. All right. Anybody else? I got one. JP. I got two. JS. Mike. Way to go. Be the best decision you ever make, Judy. Just ask people that make money with it. This is not hard to use. And what I'm going to show you Friday, that lesson alone is worth $100. How many people think we'll probably do a trade on Friday when we do this? Just saying, how many people know me and think I'll probably find a trade on Friday? You're right, I will. I can't be there for an hour without finding an opportunity. Yeah, it says multiples. I love it. All right, folks. Any questions? It's pretty simple. It's cut right. Either you want to win, you want to have consistent wins, and you want to have smaller losses. This is the way to do it. There's a great question. Why do we have a lot of programs? I'll tell you, ain't because the market changes. I've been doing this 40 years. I've got to have strategies for people to make money no matter what the market does. I don't control what the market does, but I do control how to play it by teaching you strategies to make money. Stay focused and get on. Lynn, for $100, you can use the night version and be set up the next day. Absolutely. Now, let's put a timer up here if we can, because I'm going to come back and give you some numbers. I promised you I'd give you numbers for tomorrow, didn't I? Let's take 10 minutes, Adam, if we can, and see if, in fact, this is no, you don't need it. All you need is get the roadmap, be there Friday. That's not requiring too much. We'll take Friday if you can't be there. Okay. Are you going to put a timer up there where I'll know 10:30 Fridays when we'll have the module class, okay? Yeah, of course. If you're a current roadmap user and everything, I'm not going to eliminate you from Friday. Absolutely. I always let you come. Okay, I'm going to go get the numbers. Give me a second. All right, I got my numbers. Y'all ready? Okay. E-mini's got resistance at 70.98. 70.98. E-mini. It's got support at 70.40. Now, how do you use those numbers if you trade tonight futures? Well, you go look at the reference bar number 1 inside the roadmap, and it tells me, let me give it to you. I'll just do E-mini. You can do this for stocks too. It tells me that 70.65, the market turned bullish. So your risk would be 70.40. You'd be long E-mini. Does everybody understand how to use that? You take RB1. I'm looking at the roadmap getting this number. It's numbered where you can see it. And so I'd be long E-mini. That's E-mini. The NASDAQ's 265.41, 262.76. Here's one for you. Crude oil's resistance is 93, supports 88. That's crude oil. Let me go back to the NASDAQ. 265.41 resistance, 262.72. Crude 93.98. So resistance support. I have these numbers every night to trade with overnight and then tomorrow. Is that valuable? Gold is, this gold futures 48.80, 48.12. If I go look at gold futures at 48.60 right now, if I was long gold, I'd have my stop below 48.12. Silver 80.62. If I was long silver, and my stop would be below 78. That's support. You see how I'm using the roadmap to use this support resistance number to make decisions in the roadmap, okay? All right, here's the big one, QQQ. If you're still long from Sunday, you're gonna run into resistance on the QQQ at 641, currently 639. 703, currently 701. Here's one that trades at night, the stock, AGQ. It just went into a buy on triple silver, 134, just broke out above 134. Support would be 129. Apple, one that broke out today, 268, resistance, 265. AMD, resistance is at 261, supports 255. How in the world can you go try to make money tomorrow against me and my numbers if you don't have my numbers? You want to play that game being uninformed? Intel, I'm long, resistance is 65.60. Told you I'd give it to you if you hung around. Now you got my game plan for tonight. The market, a lot of people don't know this, but the roadmap keeps up for it. The actual stocks open at 8 o'clock the night before. Did y'all know that? That's why I took a little break and went and wrote down my number. Adam, I think I've done everything I possibly could do. The people that want to win will join. The people that don't will keep spinning their wheels, wasting their money. Harold, let's hook up tomorrow. I want to talk to you. Adam, are you going to replay this? How many people got the message about the roadmap tonight? Did I do a good enough job